Okay, so here we go. Event marketing, this is something which we are very familiar with, right? So I'm absolutely assuming that this is not something which is a new term for any one of us who is attending, right? Here we go, event marketing. So event marketing, as we are looking at, it involves creating a dynamic multimedia experience. So tailored to कुछ या तो कुछ specific objectives हैं या to reach out to a targeted audience, right? इसमें कुछ key points जो important हैं. So definition, as you all can read, I'm not going to read the definition, but if we break this definition into few key points, number one is the live multimedia package, right? Assume it's a tech conference. It's an event where we have a tech conference, right? Which is going to feature live demos or keynote speeches or interactive workshops. So this is a multimedia package, right? Then we are going to have a preconceived concept, again infused in built into that. Then we have some customization for client objectives, because it is important that what event which we are planning. I'm assuming that you all know that if you are a luxury car brand, let's say Mercedes, right? So of course, our target audience वहाँ पे जो HNIs, which we call as a high net worth individual, right? So that is going to be the focus as far as target audience engagement is concerned, right? And all these are a part of the event marketing. Now let's move to why events, right? When we envisage event, what are the few important elements into the events? Number one, brand building. When it comes to brand relates to personality, persona, offering anything which is adds to the brand value. And that's the reason why event plays such a significant role as far as brand building is concerned, right? So number two is image building. Image is more of a perception. And when we talk about perception is all about almost all the stakeholders who are there. Now, if you look at your business, right, in case if you are related to some business, who are the major stakeholders? It may be customers, या तो वो partner होंगे, customers होंगे, any other channel partner, any media partner. So we have different categories of stakeholder. और आपके brand का क्या perception, right, है, right, which exists, which we call preconceived notion, predisposed notion. That is what image is all about, right? Then at number three is it's very important, because see, every business has its own specific target market, and to kind of focus on that target market again is a very inherent and an inconceivable important element of any event. At number four is how you are implementing your plan. Step by steps, executing mini tasks. Let's say from here, let's delve types of events. Number one, just is sporting events, then entertainment, then the commercial marketing and promotional event. Number four, exhibition. Fifth is festival. Festivals के बाद जो sixth category आ रही है, that is fundraising event. So these are type of events, और हर event अपना एक unique purpose serve करता है. Okay, so let's move ahead and now see the slide which we can see now is event management as a promotional tool, right? So let's quickly delve a little more in terms of each of the elements. Number one, event design, and then of course the conceptualization, then costing, then canvassing, customization again without a reason, right? And carrying out is how meticulous are you? और अगर हम एक कैटेगरी डिफाइन करें, राइट, सो विद दिस स्लाइड व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू शो इज हम टाइप ऑफ इवेंट्स में अगर देखें, राइट, and I think this is something which again we have already tried establishing a reason for this, right? सबसे हाई कैटेगरी है कॉमर्शियल मार्केटिंग इवेंट्स की, राइट? ऑटोमोबाइल देखा एक एग्जांपल, ऑल ऑटोमोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरर्स डूइंग इवेंट in this. Number one. Number two, exhibition, right? Number three, entertainment art. Number four, sporting event, and then number fifth is festival. And type of events, if you see, so what we are trying to do here is if assume we have to arrive at an objective in terms of कि मेरा event का type क्या होने वाला है, उसके लिए क्या क्या चीजें हैं जो important है. So number one is product, right? उस प्रोडक्ट का अज्यूम if it's an Apple का प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च है, राइट, नया डिवाइस है, इट्स अ न्यू डिवाइस, उसके फीचर्स हमें बताने हैं, राइट। अब इसमें बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, एक बहुत क्लियर है, वी आर वेरी क्लियर विद द एजेंडा, राइट, वेयर वी आर गोइंग टू कवर द प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च, द परफॉर्मेंस एंड द all of the kind of feature, right? Number two is overall kind of how it is going to impact. So the program and the overall experience is number one criteria in terms of what is going to be the type of event which we are going to have or look at. Number two, price, क्योंकि ये भी बहुत important है, budget, कितना क्या financial feasibility है, right, to host that event, and this has a very very significant impact when we are going to categorize our event, तो वो event क्या type क्या होने वाला है, right, because cost, और अगर मैं उसको further we break it down, तो अब जैसे उसमें रजिस्ट्रेशंस क्या होंगे, या उसमें सब्सक्रिप्शंस क्या होंगे, उसमें टिकट के प्राइसेस क्या होंगे, रजिस्ट्रेशन फीस क्या होगा, ये सारा जो है बहुत ही डेफिनेटिव रीजंस हैं इन ऑर्डर टू काइंड ऑफ रीच आउट टू दैट लार्जर ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ डिफाइनिंग द टाइप ऑफ इवेंट. देन अगेन इनएविटेबल एलिमेंट एंड दैट इज द प्लेस, राइट. तो कोई भी इवेंट को कहाँ पे कंडक्ट, राइट, और क्यों कंडक्ट, कहाँ पे और क्यों, राइट, दैट बिकम्स ऑल द मोर रीजन, राइट, एंड दैट हैज एन इम्पैक्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ, सो अज्यूम एक फेस्टिवल होता है विच इज वेरी पॉपुलर इन गोवा, कॉलिंग इट्स अ सनबर्न फेस्टिवल, इट्स अ वेरी recognized festival in Goa, which happens. It is basically, now this is an event which has to happen in Goa, right? Or any similar exotic location where such things are there, like sunburn. And that's the reason ये बहुत important हो जाता है कि जो place है वो बहुत ही defining element add करता है when it comes to कि जो क्या आपका type of event क्या होगा. अब इसमें जो कम्युनिकेशन स्ट्रैटेजीज हैं, दे आल्सो प्ले अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, राइट. तो कम्युनिकेशन स्ट्रैटेजीज में देखिए जो लार्ज एलिमेंट्स हैं वो हैं पेड मीडिया एडवर्टाइजिंग, ऑनलाइन मीडिया, पब्लिसिटी, सोशल मीडिया, पर्सनल सेलिंग एंड इवेंट मार्केटिंग. Now, after communication strategy, what becomes important is the publicity aspect, right? And publicity, it plays a very crucial role, right? Because जो भी आपको buzz create करना है in generating the interest for the event, that comes from publicity, right? और publicity aggravate करने के लिए the few things which we generally use is press release, which is very common. Social media campaigns, images, B-roll, YouTube channel, celebrities, featured guest experts, and press kit, right? तो ये सारे जो है categories हैं in order to give more teeth, right? Which is more efficiency in terms of adding more strength to the publicity arsenal for that event. Okay, so now let's come to a slide जहाँ पे we are going to understand two very important categories, and these categories are a donor and a sponsor category. And I'm sure आप जानते होंगे who are these people, who is a donor, who is a sponsor, right? So again, definition wise, you all can see, you can note this down in case you feel like, right, you are going to have a copy of it. But largely if we look at, right, जो डोनर है वो कोई भी ongoing ऐसी initiative, right, basically the donor supports with a very clear intention of supporting a non-profit organization or a cause or a social cause, right? It has to be very very clear, right? That's so then the person becomes the donor. A sponsorship category, it's a clear case of sharing mutual benefits, right? Because यहाँ पे the sponsor, in case if he is providing any financial assistance, so वो that is in exchange of what? That is in exchange of an advertising, right? Or some promotional benefits, or something which is to build his brand, right? To create image of his product, and it is pure exchange of business, right? Although it is in kind, but it's pure exchange of business. So that's what it is all about, right? So this distinction between a donor and a sponsor is very clear, that there's one which is being done for non-beneficial no interest, and there's one which is clearly for some business interest, and that's what the basic idea about donor and a sponsor is. Now, for us, it is important that we know a little more on the sponsorship, right? Because as even managing company, it is going to be important for us to reach out to as many sponsors as well. The sponsor may again there are categories, there are types. We have title sponsor, and again, I'm assuming that these are not words with types which are you are not very familiar with. I'm sure you must be very familiar with. We have a title sponsor, we have a presenting sponsor, we have in-kind sponsor, ऑफिशियल स्पॉन्सर, मीडिया स्पॉन्सर, कोई स्पॉन्सर, और ये सारे टाइप आर डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू वॉट एवर इन्वेस्टमेंट दे हैव डन, and then it is directly proportional to the rights, right, which they have. So the more the investment, the more rights they have. And it's very obvious, right? If I am a title sponsor, right? अब assume अभी हमने when we started the session, तो हम लोग ने मुंबई मैराथन की बात की, मैराथन, राइट? अब आप अभी लास्ट ईयर वाला कोई ऐसा मैराथन हुआ था, आई एम एग्जैक्टली नॉट रिकॉलिंग व्हाई आई एम टेकिंग दिस, बिकॉज मैं आई रिमेंबर बिकॉज उससे मैं कोइंसिडेंटली आई वाज इन मुंबई एंड आई बिकेम पार्ट ऑफ दिस इवेंट. इट वाज अ फैंटास्टिक इवेंट. इट वाज स्पॉन्सर्ड बाय टाटा. इट वाज कॉल्ड टाटाज Mumbai Marathon, and जो टाटा ग्रुप का ब्रांड है, it was very prominently featured in all the artworks, designs जो भी उसमें use हुए थे for health and fitness. So again, what I'm trying to say, even IPL आप देखिए, right? Even in IPL, again you have a title sponsor, presenting sponsor, in-kind sponsor, official sponsor, media sponsor, and so on and so forth. So the bottom line here, as far as types of sponsor is, the more it is directly proportional to the kind and the power of rights which you have on that event, right? So अगर media sponsor है, तो of course अब जैसे Times of India is a media sponsor, right? So उनके rights जो हैं वो limited हैं, restricted हैं to anything which is kind of coverage or editorial content, but that's limited, right? Beyond that, it's not there. And this is why sponsorship play such an important role in this entire space. Now, what you have to sell at your event, or of course जब हम event की बात करते हैं, right? So any event में eventually what we are doing, we are going to sell it to stakeholder. Number one is opportunities to interact with her target audience, right? That's a space which we sell. We all have acknowledged directly or indirectly. I'm assuming all of you must have been directly or indirectly experienced what किसी न किसी event का part हुए होंगे, right? So opportunities to interact with the target audience, demonstrating or distributing a sample product बहुत common होता है. आप किसी भी event में जाएं, राइट, तो आपको सैंपल्स मिल जाते हैं, एंड कैन आप इसको यूज करिए इन केस इफ यू फील, राइट. देयर आर सो मेनी, राइट. देन नेम एंड लोगो विजिबिलिटी एंड इवन प्रमोशनल मैसेजेस, वो भी दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच वी कैन सेल फॉर आवर इवेंट्स, राइट, एंड so on and so forth. In the same continuation, in what else we can, right, as a sponsor, what else, और क्या ऑफर हो सकता है, राइट? तो और क्या में होस्टिंग की कस्टमर और क्लाइंट्स, राइट, और एम्प्लॉइज एट इवेंट हम एक स्पेशल प्लेस दे देते हैं विच इज अ लिटिल एलीट काइंड ऑफ सेटअप, जहां पे यू कैन हैव एक्सक्लूसिव engagement, relationship building meetings or something like that, right, with some exclusive client who may be HNI, high net worth individuals, right? तो वो दे सकते हैं, right? Then is naming opportunities, right, for places or activities, preferred location, right, of booth or presentation, वो कहाँ पे लगा है या उसका डिस्प्ले क्या है, वो किस जगह पे हो सकता है. These are all again, and then promotional rights, जिसमें t-shirts हो गए, posters, brochures, special offers. There are so many. I mean, these are very very common. So after all this, eventually to start, the key to start is it comes to activation. जहाँ पे हमें ये देखना है कि how we are going to activate, the channels, right? What opportunities which eventually leads to activating the channels and how, right? So interactive booths or zone, that's one. Then again, there we may have some digital engagement, right? कुछ ऐसे setups जहाँ पे कुछ digital engagements या कोई ऐसे virtual engagements on different social media and branded experience. So the activation is something which acts as the basis, right, in terms of how we are doing it. And when it comes to activation, we have large three channels of activation. Number one is on air. It's not that this is restricted to only these three. There are a few more, but largely, number one is on site, which is more on setting up interactive booths, कोई ऐसा प्रोडक्ट का डेमो या कोई ऐसा सैम्पलिंग स्टेशन. देर आर सो मेनी कैटेगरीज बट लार्जली राइट ये तरीके हैं जो ऑन साइड एक्सपीरियंस हो सकते हैं एक्टिवेशन चैनल के. ऑनलाइन अगेन सोशल मीडिया कैंपेन्स हो गए, कोई ऐसा पर्टिकुलर स्पॉन्सर कंटेंट है, कोई कॉन्टेस्ट है, कोई ऐसा लाइव थिंग विच यू वांट टू, और कोई ऐसा पेड प्रमोशनल कैंपेन ऑन इंस्टा और एनीथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट. एंड देन इज द ऑनलाइन एंगेजमेंट. So जहाँ पे let's say कोई ऐसा sponsor है who is trying to showcase the product, so that becomes online on air promotions. So with that, I think we have come to the conclusion of the session today.